So I've become a gamer. I didn't mean to, but it happened. And I know I'm a gamer because I kept gaming even though I wasn't enjoying it. Brief recap. I just got a new computer. Banger machine, love it to bits. But I got it for artistic purposes, meaning there was no reason for them to throw in anything for me to keep my interest or make the product more intriguing. But they did. They threw in a free download code of Marvel's Midnight Suns, a game I had no interest whatsoever in pursuing. But I got the thing, so I thought, may as well check it out. I lost a week and a half to it, and I'm still not done. Okay, so Marvel's Midnight Suns. It is created by the same team who made XCOM, which is a game that I really enjoy. And people from that team made Phoenix Point as well, a game that I love. So, sure, let's give Midnight Suns a go. What could happen? Let me tell you. First of all, the turn-based role-playing mechanics of XCOM and Phoenix Point, they do not leave a lot of room for a character-driven narrative, meaning everything you experience comes directly from your perspective, comes down to your perspective as a commander of these forces. Marvel's Midnight Suns has a story. It is predictable, it is tedious, none of the choices in the roleplay mechanics you make matter, and it bogs down the gameplay with needless, pointless role-playing that isn't interesting or intriguing if you know even a little bit about what goes on in the Marvel Universe. But, like the animated Marvel shows, I gave it a watch. Not because it was intriguing, not because the story captivated me, not because I fell in love with the characters, but because it's cool to see these characters do stuff with the narrative as an excuse. But then there is the gameplay. Oh, the gameplay. There is a strategy element to it, absolutely. It reminds a lot of, well, XCOM and Phoenix Point in the way the strategy works. Nothing surprising about that. But then there is the interface. You don't get a menu with possibilities for you to explore. You don't get a specific list of commands that you have to plan around with the battlefield as a chessboard. I mean, there is a little bit of that, but it's very much bogged down by the mechanic, which is pulling cards. You want to attack? You pull a card. You want to defend? Yeah, you pull a card. You want to do something epic? You use a few hero points, but you also pull a card. You're playing Pokemon with my Marvel characters. And I got suckered into it. So why did I enjoy this game? Why did I keep playing it even though I hated it? Or rather, I didn't even hate it. It occupies that sweet spot between get up! Get up! It occupies that sweet spot between too frustrating to be enjoyable and too simple to give up on. The gameplay it increases in difficulty the further you get. The more skill you show, I'd like to believe. But I think a quarter of the way through, I started getting messages that the difficulty was upping. Fair enough. I liked the challenge. I liked conquering bullshit. But then, after a week and a half of playing it, I finally reached a XCOM Candy Crush style mixture of an encounter where no matter what I tried to do, it would never let me win. And soon as you enter, first moveset, you get, and heroes get damaged. Nothing unusual about that. That's every encounter. But there's so many villains, and there's those damned things that multiply with every passing round. They are there. And then there is the freaking Dread Maiden, which is basically a mini-boss if you've never played the game before, and she can take off anything from a quarter to half of your health in one hit. So you have these like 10 enemies you have to get out of the way, but then they keep multiplying and they get reinforcements. So every time I think I have finally managed to beat one of the waves, whether it's taking down the Dread Maiden, or annihilating all the multipliers, or the constantly spawning waves of enemies, or the freaking paralyzing Hydra soldier things, every time they weed down my heroes 2 at a time, 3 at the worst, and I always end up with the one hero who has to get fired upon from all the enemies because they're the one enemy left. And it's like anything from 1 to 8 or even more, and it doesn't matter if I have block, it doesn't matter if I have counter, it doesn't matter if I have regen, anything like that. I'm always, it doesn't even matter if I'm at full health. I always get whittled down. And after a whole day of trying to beat it, I finally realized, what on earth am I doing with my life? I spent hours trying to make sense of this, persevering through this, for a story I don't care about, in a game I don't enjoy, just to end up here. It was the wake-up call I needed. I shut the game down. I said F you to the entire bullshit. And I have spent the last 2 days watching new movies, getting into the swing of things, deciding what to review next. I'm still not quite sure yet, but you can rest assured, I am going to get back into reviews way before I remember that the game saves like 10 autosaves and I could just load up an older save. Wait, what?